my confident and generous Leo friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. There's a current running beneath your week, Leo, and it's not loud. Not the kind of tension that shouts, but the kind that hums just below the surface. You might notice it when the room grows quiet and your thoughts gather. A pressure to hold things together, to remain composed even as change stirs around you. There's a sense of being watched, or perhaps of watching yourself from a slight distance, measuring, questioning, holding back the full force of what you feel. If you pause long enough, you might recognize a subtle wrestling between what you show and what you experience. It's not discomfort exactly, but a restless need to know where you stand. And underneath, a longing to cut through the static and name what's really at stake this week. The world may see confidence, but inside you're balancing the urge to decide with the quiet wish to understand. That's the starting point. A moment of poised tension, waiting for a clear line to emerge. You step into the week with the energy of the King of Swords quietly shaping your presence. There's a sharpness to your awareness now, a sense that you're holding court over your own thoughts. It's as though you sit in a room flooded with light, no shadows for secrets to hide. Your mind wants to weigh everything to find truth in details, to piece together the big picture until it makes perfect sense. This isn't the time for emotional outbursts or wild gestures. Instead, there's a calm, collected authority rising within you. You might find yourself rehearsing conversations in your head, mapping out what needs to be said and who needs to hear it. There's a desire to be fair, to stay honest with yourself before anyone else. And yet, that search for clarity comes with a cost. When you stay so high in your head, the heart can feel a little left behind. You may sense an unspoken pressure to make the right call, to keep your standards high, to remain above the fray even as emotions ripple below. Others might look to you for answers, but the real tension is internal, a quiet reckoning with your own expectations. Sometimes you wonder if you're allowed to pause, to let things be unfinished, or if the weight of responsibility means you must always be the one with the clearest vision. You balance this with grace, but even grace can feel heavy when carried alone. The air is thick with unspoken questions, and you're determined to cut through them without losing your sense of self. It's not about being cold, it's about being steady while the world sways. You want to be understood as much as you want to understand. Beneath all the composure, there's a flicker of vulnerability, a hope that your clarity will be enough, not just for others, but for you. This inner landscape does not exist in a vacuum. The way you hold yourself now, the way you weigh your words and measure your thoughts, sets the tone for what unfolds. When you keep your feelings so carefully managed, the world responds in kind, offering situations that test your resolve. The urge to stay in control opens a path where every decision matters, and every crossroads feels a little more charged. It's not just about making choices, but about feeling the full weight of each one, as if the week is asking you to prove what you know, both to yourself and to those watching. The stillness inside you becomes the starting gun for movement outside, and the stage is set for momentum to build. Events gather speed with the force of the chariot propelling your days. Suddenly, you're not just thinking, you're moving, sometimes faster than you'd planned. Pressures mount, and you might feel as if you're being pulled in 2 directions at once. There's a sense of drive, the kind that makes you want to get things done, to move forward, to assert your will against the obstacles in your way. The world around you becomes more kinetic, more demanding. Tasks pile up, conversations press in, and moments of quiet reflection grow scarce. You notice how easily circumstances can sweep you along, how quickly decisions can become momentum that's hard to redirect. In the rush, you might catch yourself tightening your grip, determined not to lose control. There are moments when you feel the friction between what you want and what is expected, between where you are and where you're heading. The path tests your endurance, your focus, your ability to hold the reins even as the pace quickens. You might worry about missing something important, about making a misstep in the midst of all this motion. Yet beneath the surface there's a deeper challenge at play. Will you let the pressures of the week define your narrative, or will you find your own rhythm within the rush? The energy is not merely about external achievement, but about steering through internal turbulence. You sense the cost of charging ahead without pause, but also the risk of hesitating too long. Here, your earlier clarity becomes both shield and compass, guiding you but also reminding you of the tension between thought and action. The world is not waiting, it's moving and you are moving with it. The question is not whether you can keep up, but whether you can trust yourself in motion. It becomes clear as the week unfolds that the potential for growth isn't found in speed or even in perfect clarity. It hinges on whether you're willing to meet these moments with presence, not just performance. When you engage consciously, when you let yourself feel the friction, notice the urge to control and remain curious about your own reactions, everything opens up. The choices you make now have weight, but it's your awareness that gives them meaning. Growth does not come from powering through or retreating into analysis, but from meeting each moment with gentle attention. Only then does the real potential come into view. At the heart of your week, the energy of the High Priestess arrives like a quiet invitation. She doesn't interrupt the noise or demand your attention. Instead, she offers a space to listen, really listen, to the subtler threads running through your days. There's a wisdom here that isn't loud or obvious. It shows up in the fleeting hunch, the soft knowing that surfaces when you let your guard down. This is the part of you that trusts what can't be measured or explained, that senses meaning even when facts are thin. As you move through the week's pressures and your own mental sharpness, a new possibility emerges, the chance to hold space for uncertainty without fear. Growth now looks like an openness to what you can't quite name. You find yourself drawn to moments of stillness, to the quiet after the noise, to the feeling in your chest when you stop trying to solve everything. There's comfort in realizing you don't have to know it all, that sometimes the most honest answer is a patient silence. The High Priestess reminds you that intuition isn't a shortcut, but a form of deep trust in yourself. This isn't about giving up control, but about softening your grip, allowing clarity and mystery to coexist. You might notice wisdom surfacing when you least expect it, or a sense of peace when you let yourself just be. The invitation lingers. Let your insight meet your instinct and see what grows in that space. Growth this week is gentle, spacious, and quietly transformative. All three energies weave together as the week settles around you. The clear-eyed discernment of the King of Swords grounds you in reality, giving you the courage to see things as they are. The momentum and friction of the Chariot propel you forward, asking you to move, to respond, to engage the world with purpose. And the quiet wisdom of the High Priestess reminds you that not everything needs to be explained or solved. These threads do not compete, they balance. You are both thinker and mover, both seeker and listener. As you navigate the week's challenges and choices, you may find that the real strength lies in your ability to hold complexity without panic. The tension you felt at the start softens into resilience. Clarity and intuition become partners, not rivals. Even when things feel unsettled, you are not adrift. You are simply learning to trust both your mind and your deeper knowing. There is reassurance in this. You are more than the sum of your roles, more than the person others expect you to be. By the week's end, the internal pressure lessens. What felt like a burden becomes a quiet confidence. The world remains unpredictable, but inside you have found a steadier place to stand. Actionable insights for Leo this week. Let yourself pause before reacting, even when things feel urgent. Notice when your body feels tense and give yourself a few quiet moments to breathe. Try listening for what's not being said in your conversations and see if that changes how you respond. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I see what is real and what is felt. My pace is my own, even in the rush. Every moment holds something I can trust. I am clear and I am enough. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.